hello, Lope country and future Lopes of America. Welcome to Grand Canyon University in our GCU Arena for our GCU Live Campus Tour. I am your host for this program, Caleb Dewar, and I am so excited for the next hour to show you all the wonders of, well, Lope country. And whether you're already a part of the herd or thinking about joining our herd, we are so excited to show you all we have to offer. Throughout the next few moments, you're going to see things going from the CAC, where we have 8,000 basketball courts, it seems, to things such as, well, Lope's Way with our wonderful Chick-fil-A, which goes very popular to some people. Now, I want you to imagine what GCU has to offer, and just put that all aside, and have an open mind to see what we're about to witness in this next hour, because it is fantastic, and I'm so excited. As a recent graduate in April, I have seen the wonders that GCU can do. You know, our theme is Find Your Purpose, and a lot of colleges have a theme that they say, but I really think that GCU, and not only do I think, but I know, GCU not only talks the talk, but they walk the walk. Because when you become part of our herd, you truly are in a place where you can find your purpose. So I just want to make you a little promise right now, and I want to challenge you. When you get done with this, I want you to imagine, is that a place I can find my purpose? Because I would bet that it probably would be. So how this is going to work is we're live streaming to YouTube and Facebook. Hello, everybody. And there's a comment section for you to ask questions. Now, we might not be able to get to all questions and any question you have, but throughout the next few moments, we're going to be sending out to our tour guides who are going to be showing off the wonderful things of campus, different buildings, different facilities on campus, and they're going to send it right back to me in our studio here in the GCU Arena. Throughout these next few moments, I'm going to have different guests ranging from student body vice president to different directors of different departments to even an outdoor rec student leader. And in those segments, we're going to be talking about various things like student life, to academics, to how do I have fun on campus? And if you have any questions related to what we're talking about, please send it in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube, and we will gladly answer them if we can. Make sure to follow us on all social medias, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at GCU, and make sure you stay on top of us here in Lope Country. So without further ado, I'm so excited. We're going to send it out to our first tour guides. Here we go.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this GCU Live. My name is Sam. I'm going to kind of tag team this first portion with you guys. I am a junior here at GCU studying Christian Studies. I am born and raised here in Peoria, Arizona, so it's like 20 minutes north from campus, but I do live on campus throughout the school year. And so like I did mention, I am tag teaming this tour, so I'm going to pass it off to my partner.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas. I'm a junior here as well, and I'm studying sports psychology. I'm sure you guys can see that on the screen, but we're going to get right after it. We're actually going to start talking about some educational buildings here. The first one I'm going to give you a little bit information on is the engineering building. So this is actually the biggest education building we have here on campus. The first floor, we do have the Lopes Labs. So the Lopes Labs is a really cool facility we have for students of all majors. So I'm a psychology major, and I can go in here and use some of the facilities. Some cool things we have metal workshops, wood workshops. We also have laser engravers, 3D printers. If you're like me, you have no idea how to use any of those things, we actually have professors that are on staff to show you how to use the equipment safely and correctly. But it's a really cool building, and honestly, I'm a psych major and I've had a lot of classes in here too, so it's a good building to get familiar with. And I'm going to pass it off back to Sam. Here you go, Sam.
Hello, welcome back. I'm going to briefly talk about our Lope shop that we have here. If you're like me and really like clothes and you really love GCU, it's a perfect place to go get some GCU swag, as well as there is like back to school stuff in there, so your notebooks, pens, things like that you would need for a class. Also, something really cool that's in there for our medical students or nursing students is we do have white coats and scrubs in there, so you can just be as prepared as you need for those classes. And while I'm talking about white coats and things like that, I'm going to talk about this building that is right next to me. This is our natural sciences building. So on our third floor, we actually have nursing sim labs, and what that is it's like a mock hospital, so it smells and looks like a hospital up there. I've personally never been up there because I am a Christian Studies major, but it's great hands-on experience for our nursing students. We actually have these things called Smarties. They're technically dummies, but we like to give them the respect they deserve. They can do everything a human can do except for die. You can draw blood from them. They can accept and reject medicine. They also give birth, so it's just kind of weird, but cool. Also, I heard that they're clothed and they have wigs on, so it looks like an actual person. So it's just great hands-on experience for our nursing students. On our 4th floor, we have our forensic science labs. There they do some blood spotter analysis, tire tread analysis, and also some DNA testing. So that's really cool for our forensic science students to have that experience. Also, if you're ever walking around campus and you see caution tape on the ground, don't get too alarmed. We do mock crime scenes for them as well, so it's just another hands-on experience that they're able to have here on campus. It's actually really cool up there that we have our local police officers who go up there and do some DNA testing as well, so it's just a great way to get that experience as a student here on campus and kind of learn the ways around that career. And now I'm going to pass it back to my partner, Nicholas.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sam. That was incredible. Nursing students, you guys are super important, and you'll definitely be spending a lot of time in that building. The building I'm going to be talking about next is the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, but this building applies to all students, not just students in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, because the ACE Center. So the ACE Center is a facility we have in there for students to get tutoring and also help with their career. We call it the ACE Center because it stands for Academic and Career Excellence. Academically, you'll be getting help from other students, which is really cool because the biggest thing about that is that those students have taken the same class as you and been successful in that class. So they've gotten an A in the class and an A on a placement exam, so they know what they're talking about. They've taken the class. I even got help from someone who had the same class the semester before me and had the same professor and was very good in that class, so how can you get any better help? And then also with your career, so you can also get help with maybe job interviews, job applications, student worker positions. Student worker positions are plentiful here on campus, and the ACE Center can definitely help you with that as well. So if you ever need help, check out the ACE Center because they are free to get help there, and then you guys can really get help with anything you need on campus. Classes and student worker positions are a big deal here if you want to make some money. And then going back to Samantha.
Wow, that was actually pretty incredible. Thank you, Nicholas, for that. As he did mention, student worker positions is a big thing here at GCU. If you're like me and like to make money as a college student, there's plenty of opportunities for you. And we are coming across Building 18, which is our Student Advisory Center. There on the 1st floor, we actually have our ARC, and that's just actually what Nick and I do. So we are tour guides here on campus, and we are students, so just giving tours kind of to new families who kind of want to see what community is like here at GCU. So that's going to be there on that 1st floor. On our 2nd floor, we do have our SSCs, so that's our Student Services Counselor. So if you were to come to GCU and become a student here, those counselors are there for you. They're kind of just going to be there to help you out with your classes, make sure that you're staying on track, and just be there for whatever you need. So that's going to be there on that 2nd floor. This building's actually pretty cool. It symbolizes how GCU is constantly growing. This is one of our newest buildings. It was just built fully last year. So it kind of just shows how GCU is trying to evolve and make this campus the best place possible for our students. I'm going to pass it back to Nicholas.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. So we are in the promenade right now. I'm going to talk about the student life building, student engagement building. But before we get to that, I just want to give you a good view of the promenade here. This is where a lot of student life will be happening. Lots of events out here. Lots of students will be walking to class. A very lively spot here on campus. And then Sam did talk about this building on the 2nd floor. We do have our SSCs. Once you guys get here, you will have counselors. They're not going to be your admissions counselors. They're going to be a different counselor, and they're going to be helping you with financial information, setting up your classes, everything like that. So this building is very important. But going on to the student life building, Building 26, this building is very cool because it has tons of scholarship opportunities for you here on campus, and that's not through academics, that's not through athletics, that's actually it's actually through getting scholarships by serving the community here at GCU. So the first options I'm going to talk about are our RAs and life leaders. So RAs are residence assistants. They're going to be the peacekeepers of the floor. They're also going to help you transition into college life. My freshman year, I had a very good experience with my RA. He was the one who showed me what it's like to be a successful student here on campus, a successful member of the community. He showed me lots of spiritual opportunities here on campus. So if you have any questions about what we have here, or maybe how to get connected in the community, how to make friends here at GCU, RAs are great with answering those questions. And then we also have life leaders. So life leaders are more of a spiritual guidance. Spiritually, we have lots of opportunities, but what the life leaders will be doing is that they'll be holding a Bible study once a week, and that is usually on a certain day at a certain time every week. They keep it pretty consistent. And then we also have them just kind of like for meetings and everything like that. My freshman year, I met with my life leader once a week, so if you ever want to meet with them, they're always welcome to schedule meetings. They're just more of there for spiritual guidance here on campus. And then as well in this building, we also have our local and global outreach programs. So locally, if you feel called to serve with any type of group of people, maybe an age group or maybe a specific group that have suffered from certain traumas or anything like that, we have ministries of all kinds here at GCU. Locally, we will have anything ranging from elderly ministries, youth ministries, juvenile detention center ministries, homeless ministries. So many cool. We even have soccer and basketball ministries. So if you like sports, we have ministries that kind of teach the life of Christ through different sports and activities here on campus. So lots of great opportunities locally. And then we also have global outreach. So global outreach actually works with refugees in the community. And then they also work with different organizations to help students become able to go on mission trips and stuff like that. Lots of those mission trips will be taking place over the summer and as well over spring break. And then we have ASGCU. ASGCU is a really, really cool program here, but we actually have the ASGCU president that is going to be talking to you guys. So I'm going to save that for him. He's going to give you the rundown. Super great guy. His name's Noah. You guys will be able to see him in a little bit. And then also at the last opportunity we have way back there is our Canyon Activities Board, our CAB. So those are going to be the event planners here on campus. I have a lot of respect for those students because they put in long hours to put on events for students all over campus. They put on long hours to make my experience better. So I have a lot of respect for them. A few things they do as they put events on in the arena. Those events have over 7,000 students in attendance, and you would be very surprised of how well done they are. I mean, you would think that they hired professionals to do these events. Lights are going, music's going, they have the Jumbotron going. We're all trying to be crazier than the next person so we can get on the Jumbotron. And they also have smaller events, multicultural events. Canyon Activity Board's always doing stuff. They have a schedule too, so if you're ever here as a student and you want to look at their schedule, they have a schedule for students to see what events they have going on. And that was a lot of information, but I'm going to send it over to my friend Sam now.
Welcome back. So I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of students worry about, and that's going to be food. We have tons of dining options here at GCU. I believe that's one of the staples that makes GCU super unique. Right down behind me, we have our Lopes Way. So down there, we have tons of dining options from our Mediterranean food, that's Pita Jungle, to Subway. We also have Chick-fil-A, which we like to call our Lord's Chicken here at GCU. The line literally is always long. That's why we added a second Chick-fil-A on east side of campus because the demand was really high for that. We also have Panda Express, Auntie Anne's, Canyon Crepes. So the list just goes on behind me. But we're going to go into the student union and I'm going to show you more dining options as well as how it would work as a student here and how you can access those food places. That's where I was going with that. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys some more dining options. At most universities, you see more of a cafeteria style, but like I did mention here at GCU, we have more of those commercial restaurants. So there's tons of options. Also on the other side of this building, we do have Jamba Juice, as well as Qdoba. So I never heard of Qdoba until I moved here, but it is like Chipotle, but free guac and free queso, so that's pretty incredible. Gonna go through the sliding doors. There you go. So I'm going to show you guys what meal plans look like here. So we're going to come right up to this little sign. So here's plenty of different dining options for you. So basically you're going to get a student ID when you first come here as a student. And this amount will just be loaded onto that card, and we like to do a dollar for dollar system. So anywhere that you have dining, they'll just scan that amount right off of your card for you. So basically we have different options here. As a freshman, if you live in the dorm, you can have the minimum of $1,400. If you're like me, that's what I did as a freshman. Or if you're like my friend Nick over here, he went with the larger amount because he knew he was going to eat more on campus. So yes, you're going to also learn throughout this tour more about what the dorm and apartment looks like. But basically, you don't really have a kitchen in the dorm, so eating out, we like to make sure that you're getting fed. So you can have the minimum of $1,400 and go with any of these amounts, depending on knowing how much you'll eat. But also what's cool about GCU is as a freshman, you can live in an apartment. So if you were a first-year apartment user, you can go with the 1,050, and basically that's just because you'll have a full-size kitchen, so you probably won't need as much as the other students who are in dorms. And then if you're a sophomore through senior and choose to live in an apartment, you can do the 775 because you're probably more acclimated with your kitchen space. And then we have commuters who just go with the 250 because they're probably not going to eat too much on campus. So any of those are open for you to utilize. And then again, that's going to be loaded onto your student ID card. If you ever run out of money, your parents can definitely load up some more money throughout the school year. Or if you ever have rollover money, it'll just roll over to the following years. And then unfortunately, when you're a senior, it kind of ends there, but it's cool that you'll have that, so it can always add on to that. I'm going to kind of point out some spaces we have here in the Student Union. Here we have our Canyon Pizza Company. I love my pizza, so this is a great place to come, as well as it does deliver to your room. So if you're like me and have some watch parties in your room and you really don't want to go out for food, you can just call a phone number and they'll actually deliver it to you, so that's really nice. Here we have our Fresh Fusion. This is our healthier option here on campus. We have sandwiches, wraps, salads. It's just a great place to go if you ever feel like, okay, I definitely need to change my diet a bit. Also, we have our Harvest Kitchen. This is the closest thing we have to most universities. It is that cafeteria style. I like to think of it as like home-cooked meals. So we have specialty days like Meatloaf Monday, Taco Tuesday, Fish Friday. So if you're ever interested in any of those, it's really great and you get a set price. So it's very affordable. As well as we have the Habit Burger. So if you're really into burger, shakes, and fries, that's a great place to go. And then we have our Einstein Bagels, which I actually just had some coffee from there this morning. It's pretty great. A great way to start out your day, as well as kind of a pick-me-up in between classes. You get bagels and coffee on the go. I mean, who can complain about that? So I'm going to actually give it back to Nicholas, and he's going to tell you about our coffee shop here, as well as other opportunities as a student.
All right. Thank you, Sam. That was great. That was fantastic. Food is very important, and she's right. I do eat a lot, so I do get the bigger meal plans. And we do have 4 floors in the Student Union. So she talked to you about the first floor, but we have 3 other floors to mention. So the second floor is GCBC Grand Canyon Beverage Company. We actually have another student worker, Cassidy, who's going to be going in depth on GCBC, but it's good to mention that it's on the second floor, and this is the biggest location we have here. We actually have 3 locations of GCBC, and the one on the second floor of the Union is the biggest location. Very popular spot to do homework, very popular spot to just hang out, study, stuff like that. So that's a really cool place here in the Union. And then on the 3rd and 4th floors, we do have our library floor. So GCBC, very social, music's playing, people are talking. So if you need a quiet space to do homework, the 3rd and 4th floors are beautiful spots on campus because most of the wall is windows. So you can see a lot, a big portion of campus. And campus is really beautiful, lots of trees, lots of greenery. So really cool to like just kind of do homework up there, see a good view of campus, and have a nice little spot where you can get a quiet environment. We also have study rooms in there that you can rent out. The study rooms are pretty helpful. I usually go in there for a group project because you can go in there, talk in the library, but no one can hear you because you guys have your private room, everything like that. So definitely a nice place to check out. And then one more thing I just want to mention real quick is that we also have Thunder Alley. Thunder Alley is a really awesome place here on campus. The first floor is where we have Taco Bell and Sweet Disciple. Sweet Disciple is our campus candy store. So if you are having a big sweet tooth ever, I know that happens to me sometimes. They have any candy you could think of, frozen yogurt, gelato, all the good stuff in there. And on the bottom floor, we actually have an underground floor that we call our Thunderground. Lots of cool stuff happens in there. We have ping pong tables, pool tables, bowling. We have 6 lanes of bowling. So if you guys are ever feeling competitive, want to play against your friends and maybe a game of bowling, ping pong, anything like that, really cool down there. And we also have lots of events. A big one, karaoke nights on Thursday nights. We also have like a haunted mansion during Halloween time, everything like that. But as far as me and Sam's portion, we're actually done. You'll see me again later, a little bit later in the tour, but we're actually going to send it back to the studio. Thank you guys for coming to the live.
And we're back. And it's not just me this time. I'm joined by a good friend of mine and student body vice president Noah Logan. Noah, introduce yourself and all that you do here on campus.
How's it going, guys? My name is Noah Logan. I am the student body vice president, and basically I'm the head of ASGCU here on campus. That's our student government, and we're all about advocating for the students and being a voice for them.
Being a voice for them, and it's so huge to see your impact here. And you're also a life leader, which we're going to talk in another segment after we kick it out to the tour guides once again. I just want to jump into it. We just had a lot of information about students, about events on campus, about student workers. And we've actually accomplished a lot of those things in your 3 years and my 4 years that I just completed. So let's just jump into it. As a student, what is the best way to get involved and enjoy everything that they just talked about between student workers, the events on campus, and how to have fun and all that it has to offer?
Absolutely. I would say it's all about doing everything, going to every single event, whether that's something that CAB puts on or outdoor rec or multicultural. Just go out there and go up to random people and introduce yourself. Go to GCBC, do homework with your friends. You're gonna meet someone at that table. Go out to the fields, the Grove fields, whatever fields, play spike ball, throw the frisbee around, and eventually you're just gonna start meeting people, and you're gonna find people that are like you, have the same interests and values and hobbies, and before you know it, you're gonna have a small little family.
That's what makes GCU so incredible. It's funny, we just had welcome week this past week, and I would see all these freshmen, and obviously now it's a little different because we have masks on, and we're being safe here on campus, and right now even socially distant interview, of course, and so it's a little different with the mask on. You can't smile, but even in a non-mask year, it's so funny because we have all these shy freshmen like, I don't know how to say hi. Everybody's thinking the same thing. Literally, if you just go up and start having a conversation with another Lope, they will just immediately jump into it. And that's what I think both of us just love about this culture. Culture is a huge word here at Grand Canyon University. It's the culture. When you talk to prospective students, when I talk to different students, it's always the culture and community are big key points here that bring students here. Can you just talk about, in your role as a student leader and as just a student here on campus, how has the culture really impacted your time here at GCU?
Yeah, definitely. So the number one thing that the way that the culture has impacted me here is just showing me the love of Christ. If I'm honest, the way that we have community here and family here is unlike anything that I've ever seen before in my life. The way that people are intentional, invest in you, pour into you, it makes you feel loved like you've never been loved before, and
Wow.
That's only due to Jesus Christ.
Amen. I love that. And Jesus is truly felt everywhere on campus, from our administration with how they just love our students. We're going to talk about that later on. And I'm going to tease it a little bit, but our administration, if students want it and it's going to provide to their experience, they will invest in them because it's student oriented here. And ASGCU really resembles that with for students by students. I want to transition into ASGCU and student leadership. You guys do such a great job at advocating for the students in such a great way. Can you speak on how ASGCU and student engagement with our new diversity department that we're going to have Donna Glenn on in just a few moments to talk more about? There's Res Life, Spiritual Life, which we're going to talk more in the next segment with you about. But you specifically with student engagement, that is really how to get students involved and engaged on campus. How does GCU do that in such an extraordinary way?
I think it's all about that foundational statement that you said, for the students, by the students, and we take that to heart in everything we do. When we're tabling outside at the promenade, if we're doing an initiative week, or maybe it's senators when they have their Senate interactions, we encourage everyone to go in there and truly just treat people, the way that you want to be treated, and just love like Christ and create unity on this campus.
Create unity, and you spoke on that, and unity is such a big thing throughout this world, throughout our nation, throughout this campus. You guys are doing something at the end of the month, I believe, a One Lope campaign, which I think is just, honestly, every college should do a one, whatever their insert mascot here, campaign on their campus, because it's such an amazing idea. Speak on that, of what the One Lope campaign is and what you're doing.
Yeah, so the One Lope campaign is actually going to be at the beginning of November, so during that first week where the national election is going on. And basically, if we're honest, the world's kind of crazy right now, and we might be in a time of disunity, especially in our country, and with that national election going on, we want to make sure that this campus doesn't become another place of disunity, but only bands together even more, because at the end of the day, no matter what we believe, what our values are, our background, at the end of the day, we're all One Lope, and we want to unify this campus and truly show the world why GCU is so special.
We are all one Lope, one herd. And Noah, you do such a great job of really leading that charge, and just you're so humble about it. You're just so eager to serve the student body. So I can't thank you enough. We're going to actually have Noah on in a few more segments throughout this program, but he kind of mentioned unity, and I am so excited about this because, like you mentioned, there is disunity around the world and around everywhere we look right now. and our campus is wanting to spearhead that as a Christian institution, because without Christ, we are nothing, especially here on campus. We're just a campus. But with Christ, we're a community, and it's a culture here. And we're going to have Donald Glenn on to speak on that. He's the new director of our Diversity, Multicultural, and Inclusion Department. So, Noah, we'll see you in a few moments. And thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. And Donald Glenn, the greatest guy of all time. He's 30, has like 5,000 degrees. So he's incredible. Donald, get in here, my friend. Donald, you just make me smile.
Well, you make me smile.
Oh, stop.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Donald, any introduction I would do for you would be underwhelming. So introduce yourself, please.
Well, my name is Donald Glenn. I came to GCU about a year ago. I work now as their director for the Multicultural Diversity and Inclusion Office. And what we do is really just help bring, as Caleb mentioned, culture, community, understanding, perspective taking. We bring that to campus.
Wow. Bring it to campus. And it's one thing that needs to be brought to our nation and to our world, is that awareness to it. You guys had on Sunday, we had Welcome Week last week, and it was great. It was like any other Welcome Week. We had some fun events with a lot of safety protocols. It was incredible. But on Sunday, you guys had your awareness walk.
Yes.
It was the One Love awareness walk.
Yeah.
It was so amazing to witness. And I just want to talk about that, because I was there. It was an amazing thing to witness. So please.
Well, yeah, it was a really great opportunity. We worked so hard to put it together, and we were so happy to see the amount of students that really came out to support and participate in that event. It really was born out of an idea where we had a virtual conversation over the summer with general student body, and I learned a lot from that conversation, and that's where the walk was born. And it really was about just so students and faculty and staff, everyone here in our community, had an opportunity to learn what resources were available, and really share with them kind of our heart for GCU and what we really wanted to bring to campus. And so we talked a lot about, during the rally, we talked about Jesus and kind of his teachings on becoming one. In John 17, Jesus prays for all believers and says, as he talks to the Father and says, as I am in you, may they be in me and in us. And so he said, we come together perfectly when we are one.
Wow.
So that's where it was born.
Wow. Chills. Saturday morning, I already got chills. Here we go. Jesus, you said it. It's Jesus. And that is something, we don't do it perfect here. Nobody does it perfect. Only Jesus did Jesus perfect. But here at GCU, one thing I love is we don't do it perfect, but we do our best to really be just bringing Jesus on this campus. And in that walk, you just said show grace.
Yeah.
How does GCU, what is GCU doing? And we're changing a lot of things because we're being more aware.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, awareness and showing grace in Jesus. 3 big keywords there. How have you, Donald, with this brand new department, that it's such an amazing thing to have, and that our administration has been completely backing and supporting, what is GCU really doing, and that you're spearheading in that department that we're creating to really bring awareness to our school and hopefully the community around us?
Yeah, certainly. One of the goals of my coming to GCU was to make GCU the leader in the world of how to do things, diversity and inclusion, and including like multiculturalism.
Yeah.
You know, this space here at GCU is really unlike any other that I have participated in. Being in this community, you know, we have 90 plus different countries that are represented in our student body, and so we just are really wanting to serve and educate and support the students, faculty, and staff through our programming. And there are several things that we do. We celebrate various cultures. We honor and observe the national celebrations of these different cultures monthly. We have other programs such as our podcast that really try to attack some of the issues of the day, which is called Diversity, and we'll be releasing soon. And we do a lot of opportunities for really people to just have these conversations. You mentioned how I talked about showing grace, and that's one of the things that we don't do. Everyone, and it seems as if everyone just wants to get their point across. But really, Jesus had a different approach, and that's where we try to come in and share that approach to each other here, but also to this community. We want to be the example.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as our light shines, other men will see this light and want to participate and become a part of what we're doing here at GCU.
Well, Donald, I could talk to you for like 3 hours, but for the sake of the program, I'm gonna close with this. You kind of spoke on what we've done with the multicultural walk, with having a brand new department that's solely focused on inclusion, multicultural, and diversity on this campus, which is amazing. And I hope every university nationwide does that. I want to close with this. There's an issue in our world, and even in our very community, of wanting to make this more of something to be aware of. If somebody was coming to GCU that they have dealt with these issues that we're talking about, social injustice, racial injustice, what is something that if they were to ask you, Donald, am I gonna feel at home here?
Yeah.
What would you answer?
Absolutely. This is a community. This is a place. I know for me personally, I'm coming from out of state just a year ago, and I was so welcome, as a faculty member, but I was also a student as well, and participating in the classes. I really feel that this place is a place that you can come to and really jump in and be heard. That's what our department is all about, being able to sit down and have conversations, and not just know that GCU welcomes you here. We welcome you, we value you. But one thing that I felt, and I know any prospective student would feel, is more than just being welcome. You are wanted at GCU, and that was my experience, and that's what we're trying to create for all students on this campus.
We want you to feel at home. So what better way to transition into showing them where they'll live when they come to that home? Tour guides, here you go.
Hi guys, my name is Cassidy. I'm a junior here at GCU, and I'm majoring in biology with an emphasis in pre-medicine. So with that does come some 7 a.m.s that aren't so fun, but one thing that does make it a little bit more bearable is caffeine. So right here we are at Roadrunner Apartments, and this is one of our 3 GCBC locations on campus. GCBC standing for Grand Canyon Beverage Company, so almost like a Starbucks on campus. We have coffees, teas, cold brew, shakes, smoothies, and all that fun stuff. And also with that, we do have our own energy drink on campus called a Stampede. So you can get that with a bunch of different flavored syrups, and they're super good. Really nice for finals week. With that, we also have some student worker positions available for you as well. So if you want to be a barista, you totally can, and you get paid to make coffee and make a lot of friends. So it's really fun. If you want to follow me this way, like I said, we are at Roadrunner Apartments, so I will be showing you what a mock apartment room looks like and talk a little bit about what a dorm dorm room looks like as well. So you can follow me in this way. It smells really nice in here. Okay, so this is going to be what our mock apartment looks like. No, you don't get this cardboard cut out of thunder or this desk and chair. So our host for today, Caleb, actually does his own talk show in here. That's why we do have this set up. But what Sam was kind of touching on earlier with our meal plans and why the apartment is a little bit smaller is because we do have this kitchen aspect. So with every apartment, you do get a fridge, a stove, oven, freezer, microwave, and sink and garbage disposal, as well as a ton of storage. Everything else, though, is up to you and your roommates to bring. Throughout your 4 years here at GCU, you do stack up a lot of IKEA tables, coffee tables, TVs, so you have plenty of stuff to end up furnishing your apartment. However, we do have apartments available for our freshmen. We actually have more apartments than dorms right now, so if that was something you're interested in going into your freshman year, you totally can do that too. So we can walk down here, and the way our apartments work is there's actually 4 students per apartment room, and each of you get your own individual room. So some things that do come with the room are going to be the bed frame and mattress. Well, I do advise to do a mattress topper. I didn't know what that was until this year, and it's literally life-saving, so make sure you invest in one of those. You do get a built-in desk, as well as your own closet. So there is a lot of space and storage in here, and then with the bed frame too, you can kind of raise and lower it, so girls and guys get very creative with how they want to decorate their room. So like I said, there are 4 rooms in here, A, B, C, and D. So with the bathroom situation, A and B will share a bathroom, and C and D will share a bathroom. while we love community here at GCU, we don't like community bathrooms, so you'll never find community bathrooms anywhere on our campus, which is very nice. So if you want to take a peek here in the bathroom, toilet, shower, and some shelves. What's really nice about the apartment layout as well is that you do have that Jack and Jill style sink as well as this door. So in our dorms specifically, it's all one unit versus here in the apartment, you can shower while your roommate's getting ready and vice versa. So you can just swing down around here. Again, it's the same thing, just mirroring with C&D, shared bathroom and shower unit as well. You do actually get these nice little cubbies too, if you want to store snacks or linens in here as well. And we'll swing back around this way. So just some like housekeeping rules with our apartments and dorms. I'll just talk about kind of like the layout and then our housing operations too. So with the layout, by GCU Magic, for some weird reason, they are able to give you a room key, and that room key will unlock your main door and then your individual door. So your roommates won't have access to your door. A lot of people do like to leave their doors open, but if that was something you didn't want to do, you can totally lock it, and you don't have to worry about them coming in or out of it. You also do get a mail key, and we'll touch on the mail system later, but with that mail key, you can have your own personal mailbox, and anything that is an envelope or smaller, which I know isn't a lot, can fit in there. Everything bigger than that will go to the mail center, and you'll get an email about that as well. Some other student leadership opportunities that I'd like to touch on in here is going to be our RAs and our life leaders. So our RAs are going to be our residence assistants. They're in charge of each of your floors, so their own floor, and that's just how you kind of get to know your hall, the girls or guys on your floor specifically. They put on community gatherings and then do help with roommate conflict as well. Hopefully you don't have to ever experience that though. We also do have life leaders. So life leaders are going to host a weekly Bible study for your floor. Again, completely optional, but if that's something that you want to participate in or grow in your faith, you can as well. So also with that, how our floor systems work, we do have the first 2 floors are boys and the top 3 to 4 floors are for girls. So again, with the key system, you get your room key, but you also get a key fob. So that key fob does get you onto your individual floor. So for example, if you wanted to have guys over and you were a girl, you'd have to let them onto your floor and then into your room. With that, I'll touch on hall hours. So hall hours are from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. So during this time, the opposite gender can come in your guys' living rooms or common areas, that's what we like to call it, and then hang out. But we just ask that in the dorm, specifically, you keep the door open 90 degrees. We call it the 90-degree rule. I know it sounds silly, but just with our freshmen, we like to keep them protected, and a lot of things can happen behind closed doors on college campuses, and we just want to eliminate that completely. With the apartment, though, you do get a little bit more freedom, so you do get that door closed to your main entrance, this one specifically. However, whether it's the dorm or the apartment, the opposite gender is not allowed in your room. Trying to think what else. That's kind of it. I know that we don't get to go over the dorm specifically, but the big difference with the dorm and the apartment is the layout. So in the dorm, you don't get that kitchen aspect. You walk in, it's going to be the living room and then 2 bedrooms. So you have the option of double or triple occupancy. Double being 2, 2, and 4 share the living room, or 3, 3, and 6 share the living room. I always advise our freshmen to just kind of take that leap of faith and stay in the dorm your first year, and obviously stay in the apartments your next consecutive years, just so you can get acclimated and meet a lot of other people that are in your shoes. So yeah, with that, that's about everything, and I'll pass it over to Caleb in the studio.
I gotta say, Cass, great job. Shameless plug. That's right, the best talk show set of all time, the GCU Lope Show, hosted by me, Caleb DeBart, on YouTube, Instagram. It's in a playlist. You're already on, half of you are on YouTube. After the end of this, go to the playlist, GCU Lope Show. I would not be an aspiring 22-year-old talk show host if I didn't shameless plug myself. You were actually on the show.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, we got pizza. It was
we
good.
did get pizza. Canyon Pizza Company.
Canyon Pizza Company.
And it was pretty great. So please, check it out, GCU Lope Show. It's coming to you every week now. It's going to be great.
It's great.
All right, shameless plug done.
But I'm happy. I'm
Housing.
happy that you got to
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you. Let's talk about housing.
Yeah, housing. I live there.
You live there?
I live there.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're an expert to talk about housing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna cut through it. Is it fun to live on campus?
Oh yeah. Big
what,
time.
What do you enjoy about being on campus and living in our dorms and in our apartments?
Well, number one, I lived in the Grove freshman year, the freshman dorms. That is the place to be. If you want to make friends, get involved, find your family, live in the Grove.
So you would actually say, because now we offer apartments to freshmen, which if you choose that, that's fine, that's great. There's still community there. However, we still strongly urge and suggest that if you can and you want to, it's also cheaper. You can be in a 2-person or 3-person dorm.
Yeah.
How was that impact? Because I lived in Ironwood my freshman year.
I lived in Ironwood my freshman year.
yeah, we can't.
Yeah, no. Air high five.
There we go. What did you love about living in the dorm?
I loved meeting, people that are in the same position as me, completely new to college, and
Yeah.
like kind of having that, common thing in all of us.
Sure.
It removed that anxiety and allowed us to kind of unify behind that and become friends.
Yeah.
And all the RAs in the dorms were so awesome and made sure that they were building community, putting on events. And I had RAs my freshman year that are now some of my best friends.
That's fantastic. I think it really does something. I spoke on it earlier of where it's like when you're shy, everybody's shy, right? And it's just go up and say hi to somebody because they're probably feeling the same way. When you live in a situation like the Grove, everybody's freshmen except your RA and life leaders, but everybody's in the same situation. So everybody's kind of like that awkward, like, yeah, I miss my mom and dad too. I don't really know how to get involved. Hey, want to be friends? Okay, let's do something. Okay, let's go eat Chick-fil-A, whatever. But living on campus, let's transition to the apartments now. I lived in Agave Apartments, Papago Apartments, and Canto Apartments.
I
So
lived in
was
none of those.
Everywhere. That's okay. It's fine. You'll get there. You still have a year. But apartment lifestyle, what's the difference as you kind of progress in college of moving to that apartment? How does that living on campus, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, so the apartment lifestyle is a lot more chill, laid back. It's, you kind of find your crew and, go over to East Campus and get a new apartment there. It's a little bit more laid back, not as crazy as the Grove, but something that's super special is that most universities, their apartments aren't on the main part of
Yeah.
campus, and so they're still super close, which makes it super awesome because you can still, ride your board over to the CAC and it's like a minute away from where I live and I can go play basketball or climb the rock wall,
Wow.
or ride my board to GCBC. It's like 2 minutes away, 5 minutes away, And so you're still super close to this community. I think GCU, something that it's done that is super special is they've made it a compact campus where everyone that lives here is super close to each other and that just breeds Christ-filled loving community.
I love it. GCU also does an incredible job at kind of like a pick and choose your college experience, where if you want that college experience where you're in your apartment but you only sleep there and most of the time you're eating whatever, you're going to all the events, you're out and about with your friends, socially distant, and you're doing all these fun things. But they also do, if you want that lifestyle of kind of that off-campus feel and you just go to class and maybe for food once in a while, we have apartments now that as we're progressing and we're,
Ponderosa.
Yeah, Ponderosa,
Out
farther
there.
from main campus where you can get that feel of, I'm in college, but I don't necessarily want the full college experience. GCU offers that as well. It's a really pick your own adventure kind of campus and school here that I think is fantastic. And I love my 4 years here, and I know you live your time here. You got another year left here. Next year, though, where you living? Where you want to live?
I don't know. I think, there might be some Northam action maybe going on. Thought that would be pretty cool. Big Pop's always good as well. We'll
Popular
see.
choice.
We'll see.
All right, I can't let it go. The cast talked about RAs and life leaders a little bit. Before serving as student body vice president, you were a life leader on campus.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
One of the best experiences ever. I ended up living in Juniper, serving as a life leader in there. And every Wednesday at 5 p.m., I would just have a group of 5 to 7 guys come in, and we'd go through the Bible, but more than that, we would do life together and would just goof off, tell jokes, tell stories, complain about life, go get buffalo wings, go get food together, coffee, and it's just about the best feeling, and it's like going back to that part about GCU where it's a community in Christ, and life groups is a perfect example of that. It's those relationships that you're not gonna want to miss. It's truly special.
Yeah, and these life leaders are a student leader position, just as RAs do. And it's not that you just sign up and go, but it's one of those things that's amazing, and they really are passionate about what they do, and it's amazing. Before we send it back out to the tour guides, they talked about GCVC. Favorite drink?
Well, the host is good. It's
The host,
but-
chocolate milk. I created it. Chocolate milk, caramel drizzle. It's fantastic. Thanks for the plug.
Of course.
Two.
But for me, I'm a big tea guy. So normally I do a black tea and then I get some random flavors in there depending on what I'm feeling. You know, throw some peach in there, watermelon, strawberry,
Sure.
cherry, literally anything.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. I will not try that because I don't drink tea. But
I think I'll come up with a name for it.
there we go. That's what
I
I
think
will
the
name.
VP, you know?
The vice president. I love it. Tour guides. Let's see what's next.
Hey guys, welcome back to the tour. My name is Baylor. I am a sports management student here at GCU. I am going into my junior year, and right now we are at the beautiful Colangelo College of Business. So I'm going to be taking you through the academic side of GCU. I'm going to talk specifically about business and all academic programs here on campus and how they work. So just kind of follow me this way. So if you don't know who Jerry Colangelo is, that was the last name that I mentioned on the building. So Jerry Colangelo is an absolute, pretty much living legend. He has owned the Diamondbacks. He's brought the Phoenix Suns and owned them to the Valley. He is such an awesome businessman. He really supports what GCU does, so he's heavily involved in our business program. So as a business student myself, I have the access to all his books, all his ethics, and it's really awesome because he was a very Christ-centered man. So teaches all of us students how to do business in a Christian way. So it's really awesome that he is attached to our program. Not only that, he's brought so many great people into the College of Business. So I kind of want to touch on academics here at GCU. So academics at GCU are very unique. They look a lot different than other places around the country. So here at GCU, the one word I would give you to remember about our academics here is engaging. So engaging means that your learning experience is not going to be you sitting in front of a screen writing notes the whole time. So our class sizes here at GCU, the average class size is between 1 professor to 33 students. So what that means for you guys is you guys are going to be able to build a relationship with your professors. So that's amazing for me, kind of a personal testament. We're going to be walking through these doors in just a second here, and I'm going to talk about internships, volunteer opportunities, because coming to college is a really important choice, right? You kind of need to get experience. If you're just learning how to do something and you never get experience to back it up, you're going to graduate with a fancy sheet of paper that pretty much serves you no purpose. So something that was really cool for me, getting internships here at GCU. They are really heavily involved with getting you volunteer opportunities, internships. So what that means on campus is getting you real life experience. So when you do graduate, you guys are going to be able to kill it in the real field and really get any job that you want. So what that means is, for me personally, I built a relationship with one of my professors. His name is Dr. Roth. Like I said, I'm studying sports management. So I've lived in Arizona my whole life, so I really wanted an opportunity to be part of the Arizona Cardinals. He knew that about me, so he saw an internship opportunity open up for me. He recommended me. I went to the interview. I got hired on the spot just because of my relationship with my professor. So it is amazing that we have this opportunity to do that here at GCU. Just by knowing my professor, I got an awesome opportunity. That's not a rare case here either. So that is just really awesome. One other thing that's really cool, right in here we have a wall, right? And it has all the companies GCU business students have affiliated themselves with. So it's really important that you get a really good academic career, but it's also really critical that you're getting real life experience, and GCU does focus on that. So I kind of want to touch on office hours. That is not only offered here in the Colangelo College of Business, but that is everywhere across the board here at GCU. So what that does, office hours are where professors sit in your office, and they basically are there for you. Any questions you have, any questions on assignment, maybe you didn't understand what they were teaching in lecture that day, you just go to them, you ask them questions, they're there for you, and it's really awesome experience to gain academics. That way, I definitely have really learned a lot from that way, just going to talk to my professor about something I didn't understand. So we're going to peep into a classroom right now so you guys can kind of see what they look like. So we have 2 classroom setups. What we're going into right now is going to be a lecture hall. So lecture halls are a little bit bigger than your traditional GCU classroom, but these cap out at 90. So you never have a GCU class over 90 students. So I've had classes of 90, and I still got to know my professor. So something really awesome for you guys. So this classroom is a lecture hall. Your professor would be up here. Because of COVID and everything going on, you can see the social distance measures being taken in here. But like I said,
being in academics here is a really awesome experience for you guys. If you guys have any more questions about academics and how they work, maybe for your specific program, go ahead and drop questions in the comments section. We'd be more than happy to answer them. But other than that, that's all I really have for you guys out here at the Colangelo College of Business. I am praying for each and every single one of you on the live stream today because it is a really important decision to make a decision where you're going to college. So just know that God is with you, He has a plan for you, and He loves you. So sending you back to the studio.
Thank you, Baylor. All right, academics. I'll be honest. I can't talk much about this. I talk for a living. But my friend Olivia Fletcher here, honors student, part of the CCOB, our Colangelo College of Business.
Yes.
You have such an incredible story when it comes to academics and can really speak on what GCU does to make your academic experience the best. So I'm going to turn over the floor here. Sales pitch. You're part of CCOB. You're part of the sports business program, a sports management major. How has your experience been?
Yeah. GCU does an incredible job, as we've been talking about the community of campus, just like bringing that into the classroom and having those small classes. The largest class I've ever had at GCU is 60, maybe 70 people, but you still have that one-on-one connection with your teachers. And I got to know a lot of my teachers on a personal basis, and especially in the College of Business and in that sports management major, there's a community and like a want to bring you along in their success. Our teachers like give us volunteer opportunities, internship opportunities, job opportunities that we wouldn't have if we didn't connect with them and had that bigger classroom setting. And so it's just so good to really like get mentored by your teachers rather than just learn from your teachers at that academic level.
You spoke on it, and obviously I've only gone to one college. I only applied to one college. Go Lopes.
Me too.
There we go.
What's up?
But it's fantastic for me to look at how these classrooms are. I just thought it was a normal thing. I was like, yeah, I'm in a class with like 20 people. That's normal, right? And then I go look at these other classrooms at other colleges and universities, and they're like 400 people. Right. And a big thing for me that it seems for me and you, and I think a lot of, especially for freshmen and incoming students, is that one-on-one relationship. Because it's really intimidating to go from high school to college and be like, oh shoot, how do I do this homework? I don't have mom and dad kind of talking to me about, hey, get your homework done. And sometimes you need that grace. Because Donald talked about grace about unity, but also grace in the classrooms is sometimes needed as we transition. Can you talk a little bit about how that intentionality really played a role and continues to play roles as current student in your academic success, the intentionality with the professor?
Yeah, for sure. The teachers, like I have had teachers who, not with me personally, but if a student isn't pulling their weight and isn't turning everything in, rather than just failing them and being like, well, you get zeros on everything, they reach out and use LoudCloud and email and even text messages, and they reach out to you and say, hey, like, what's going on? Like, is there a reason your like schoolwork isn't getting done? And they also make themselves very available. I have professors' phone numbers, and they say, if you don't understand the homework, text me and I'll like try to get back to you, or email me, or call me on the weekends if you ever need it. And LinkedIn is a big one in the sports management major. If you're connected with your professors on LinkedIn, that is major brownie points. They're just like, hey, I sent you a thing on LinkedIn, like go look at it. And so they really are caring more about your whole being and how your soul is doing and how your heart is doing, rather than just how your brain is doing.
I want to talk about, as a sports management major, Baylor mentioned it in the beginning of the segment, Jerry Colangelo. And he has such an overwhelming presence. I mean, we have a statue of him right outside the arena. Incredible man and an incredible just person that really invests in things he enjoys. And GCU is one of those things. Talk about how Colangelo has been around and made the business experience feel for you. How has the sports management major and program been in your experience? And as you think about, you talked about it, that intentionality, those professors in the CCOB really care. I hosted their kickoff a few weeks ago and met with Randy Gibb, Mark Clifford, and they were really much, hey, it's up to you guys. We are here for you, but you guys have to do the work. Come to us and do it. How has your time been in the CCOB?
Yeah, it has been so great. It's been very individual and like unique and drawn for my own personal experience. While I am a sports management major, I'm more into those like outdoor sports and those adventure sports, but they still allow me to really like focus on the things that I love while giving me the knowledge that they have from those major
Wow.
sports,
Wow.
which has been really nice. And they also are very student-led. The sports business club is extremely student-led. Their presidents do a great job of really reaching out to different sports teams in the Valley and like getting us involved in the professional sports like industry. And I think everything in CCOB really does that and allows students to like push forward and get their foot in the door before they even graduate.
Wow, and that's incredible to hear, because I think it's an amazing experience to enjoy your time on campus, but also feel fulfilled on it. So we're going to hear from Olivia. She's not going anywhere. She's actually, when you come back, she's actually really excited to talk about what she does next. She's a student leader with our outdoor rec program. So we're actually going to send it out to our CAC, our Canyon Activity Center, to talk about the east side of campus. So tour guides, it's all you.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to my section of the live tour. I'm going to be showing you guys the Canyon Activity Center and the Canyon Activity Complex. My name is Ebby. I'm a junior here at GCU studying finance and economics. Right behind me we got our skate park, brought to us by ASGCU, which is kind of like our student government. We have students come out here like late in the afternoon, late in the evening, skate, play some music. They'll have some bistro lights up. It's a pretty cool vibe. Right next to it we'll have our skate rink, donated to us by the Arizona Coyotes. And then right behind it, one of my favorite aspects of GCU, believe it or not, is the parking garage. We have multiple parking garages on campus. Freshmen are allowed to bring their cars on campus. That was one of my favorite things as a freshman, having a car here. And they make it really inexpensive, $150 a year. So just the amount of students that we have on campus and the cars we have on campus, you wouldn't think that there's parking for freshmen, but there is, and that was a pleasant surprise for me. Right now we're going to head into the fitness center. We have multiple fitness centers around campus. They're all kind of set up differently. And in light of COVID recently, GCU has been able to really set up a system where students can reserve spots and reserve times to work out. There's a lot of social distancing. There's yoga classes, Zumba classes free for students that you can participate in, free weights, a lot of equipment, just different things that you can use to get your workout in with. This one's kind of set up for our club sports team, so it's a lot of free weights. I come in here a few times during the week. Yeah, so this is, as you can see, it's a lot of free weights. Not as many equipment, but the fitness center's closer to where I live, and main campus, there's a lot of equipment. And this is kind of directly correlated to the Canyon Activity Center, where most people have their intramural sports, their club sports, and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm going to head into the Canyon Activity Center right now as we speak. Thank you. So the CAC, the Canyon Activity Center, this is where most of our intramural sports games will be. We have intramural basketball, intramural flag football, intramural soccer, all sorts of just different intramural sports with different leagues. You have A teams or B teams, A leagues and B leagues, co-ed leagues, all sorts of different leagues. You could just, if you want to play for leisure, if you want to play competitively, our first level of sports is that intramural sports level. And then our second level of sports will be our club sports. If you want to play a little bit more competitively, you played in high school, it's pay to play. You do have a coach and you have teammates, jerseys, you'll travel, you'll play against some JUCO teams, you'll play some other club sports teams from other universities, and then we'll have our third level of sports, which is our Division I sports. You can walk on, but usually you get recruited for those positions. As you can see, we have 10 full basketball courts with the volleyball nets hanging from the ceiling. If you're a big volleyball girl or guy, you can ask the front desk to lower it for you. And then if we loop around right over here, you'll be able to see our rock climbing wall. It's put on by our GCU Outdoor Rec Club. I love rock climbing, but I haven't made an appearance yet, so I think that's something I'll have to do. This is also a chapel live stream center. It's a huge facility with a lot of space so people can social distance and watch chapel in here on Mondays. And as far as just recreation, you can see a lot of students just come in here to play pickup basketball. I love pickup basketball. I met a lot of my friends here, a lot of community here. I know you've heard a lot about the community at GCU, so I'm going to touch on the hoop culture here. We have an Instagram group chat where we text and we talk about times where we want to play. But I definitely have met some really good people here. I love running up here. It's probably one of my favorite pastimes. And that's about it. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to send it back to the live studio. Thank you once again for tuning in.
And we're back with Olivia. And actually, this one is pretty cool because you literally not only work in the CAC, but you're also an outdoor rec student leader. So for these next few minutes here, we're going to have some fun talking about all these things that we have to offer. All right. You're an outdoor rec student leader. You work in the CAC. We just saw the CAC. Give your best sales pitch on why the CAC is the best place to have fun on campus.
Oh my gosh. First of all, there is so much space. And so in this year, especially, like you could be on a basketball court hanging out with your friends and like not even see anyone else because they may be down on court 7 and you're on court 1. That's okay.
We don't know.
But it's so incredible because all of that space gives opportunity for so much community. So while you may go in as like one group of friends, you may see the people all the way down court 7 and be like, hey, they're playing volleyball too. Like, let's go say hi.
I love it.
See what happens. And then you have a volleyball group. Also, the rock wall, literally my favorite place on campus. The vibes there are just impeccable. You go, you're hanging out with your friends, you're chilling, but you're also getting a workout in, and you don't even know it.
That's the best
because
part.
rock climbing is just such a fun way to be physically active with your body and push yourself physically and mentally, and another great way to meet people. And then the weight room, so good. There's 14 benches in there. There's a bunch of free weights, which is really nice in the weight room at the CAC. And so you can go in, you get a full hour this year to just get your workout in, which I think is the perfect amount of time. And so it's very inclusive of anything that anyone would want on campus.
Yeah. Well, that's actually pretty cool because I don't go to the weight room often. However, it's a very nice place. But they have this really cool thing that you guys did with everything going on with all the restrictions that we have to do. And as GCU, we want to be spearheading safety on campus. Is we have it where you have to sign up for an hour slot, which honestly seems like a great idea. You're not overwhelmed. You don't have to be stressed about if equipment's going to be open. And it's already been something that we could even be in some fashion continues to stay implemented. I want to transition from CAC worker, Olivia, to now you serve as you're an outdoor rec student leader. An outdoor rec in the past has done such cool things with trips and various going to different hiking opportunities. And obviously in today's world, we are changing that a little bit to be safety. But you guys have a lot of cool opportunities and you've already started them in this semester, fall 2020. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, this semester we are focusing on our on-campus community. We're doing a ton of things though. Last night we had our first programming event. We had a log rolling competition, which I didn't even know was a thing until this year. We're out at the Papago pool, and you're just on this log trying to balance and have fun. Everyone's laughing, meeting new people. We have stand-up paddleboard yoga going on in Antelope Pool, which, yoga's nice and calming, but stand-up paddleboards maybe not so much. So put those together, it's going to be really fun and really unique. We're actually collaborating with CAB to do some adventure movie nights on the lawn.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little bit of a crossover. And we're working really hard this semester to plan just a rad next semester just like in prayers that we'll get to go off campus next semester and have some really awesome trips.
I love that. Outdoor Rec does such a great job at really building that community. And it goes back to, like I said earlier, this experience here at GCU is really a choose your own adventure. If you want to have some really cool experiences going off campus, and you can do outdoor rec. If you want to do something where maybe you're more competitive and you like that athletic experience, we have intramurals, which even in today's world, they're still like outdoor rec is not backing down. They're actually changing with the times is they're doing cornhole, they're doing sand volleyball, and doing some intramurals that are just fantastic. And that's what I love about GCU is no matter the situation, no matter what's going on in the world, we always are going to put our best foot forward to provide the best opportunity on campus. Now I want to close here with not outdoor rec, not the CAC worker, but just the student here. Is what's something that this experience has been fantastic about?
Yeah, I think I have just like learned about who I am and who I am in Christ at GCU. Just overall, I've like our thing is find your purpose, and I came into GCU being like, I don't need to find it. I already have it, and it's completely shifted. And this community has done an incredible job of letting me pursue a new purpose that I found here at GCU through the outdoor rec program and through the sports management major. And so it's just been a place that like allows me to grow in not only my academics and not only my like work career, but also my faith and my relationships with people, which has been so important and so incredible for me.
That's amazing. I think it's cool hearing all those stories across GCU, and from somebody who has a very unique experience working in a CAC doing outdoor rec. You still have that same community feel, and that's incredible. We actually had a question: are basketball games happening? Yes, they are, which we're trying to figure out exactly how that's going to work and how that's going to look, but it's really cool and a really cool opportunity to see what happens with that. And the CAC, it's still being able to happen with basketball games and have that pick up basketball atmosphere. They do it out in the Grove, and speak on that. Yeah,
we are trying our best to allow as much activity in the Canyon Activity Center as we can. With basketball, because of the high contact and high breathing levels, and you guys are going hard at basketball, but we're allowing 2v2 games, nothing more than 2v2. So usually when there's 6 people on court, 8 people on the court, we allow, I always suggest a Kings game to 5. Like, hey, let's play 2v2 to 5, and then whichever team wins stays on and plays the next team of 2. Just because anything bigger than 2v2 kind of gets a little less like social distance.
Hard to manage,
hard to manage, exactly. So pickup basketball games are still like a super fun way to meet people and do stuff there.
I love that. And for our men's basketball program, we're hard at work at, it's going to be happening. We're going to be hard at work at figuring out exactly getting students in those games and watching in a safe, social distant way. Well, Olivia, thanks so much for coming on to talk about academics, outdoor rec. You're incredible, honor student. She's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on our GCU Live Campus Tour.
Thank you.
So we're going to send it back out. Tour guides, floor is yours.
Hey guys, right now I'm actually standing in our technology building, and I just they were talking about intramurals, outdoor rec. Those are an amazing experience here at GCU. One of my favorite things to do is play intramurals. I have played anything from sand volleyball to basketball to, I love basketball. I played 3-on-3 and 5-on-5 basketball, and then the fact that they're having them this year, doing cornhole, something I'm super excited for. Outdoor rec as well. Stand-up paddleboarding. I can barely stand on a paddleboard straight, so yoga on paddleboard, that is something I'm going to try out. Please don't laugh with me if you see me there. But I'm actually standing in our esports arena. So esports arena is just an example of how GCU likes to show and have facilities for students of all sorts. In here we have so many gaming PCs, so many consoles, and it looks pretty cool in here, doesn't it? All these lights going on and everything like that. But Esports Arena is a super great opportunity, and it's actually our biggest club sport here. It's one of our club sports programs. So if you're interested in esports at all, this is a really cool opportunity for you to be able to just, game. It's a really big thing in the world right now. But as well, like I said, GCU just has so many opportunities for you to continue your interest here. So if it's gaming, if it is adventurous stuff, Outdoor Rec is a really awesome program. If you like sports, I just like competing. So sports, cornhole, whatever it is, I like competing. So intramurals is definitely one of my favorite things. Kind of just like walking around this place real quick. Look at all this stuff they have. Like these keyboards. They have so many gaming PCs, monitors. This is just such a cool setup that they have here. And I think it is one of the coolest things we have here on campus. They just extended it last year. So one of the awesome things we have here for sure. But that's not the only thing. So the technology building has a lot of different facilities in it. On the first floor, we actually have our cadaver labs. So cadavers, cool thing about them is we have at least 15 accessible cadavers for students to study on at a time. And the cool thing about it is that we actually do our own dissecting here at Grand Canyon. And that is a really cool opportunity that you can't get many other universities. And the fact that you're able to use those cadavers starting your freshman, sophomore year here at Grand Canyon is something that puts you ahead of other students at other universities. Because, I mean, what's a better way to study the body than actually studying the body like an actual person? It's not really for me, but if you're interested in that, I mean, that is something that is one of the coolest opportunities we have here at Grand Canyon. And then we're also heading up to the 4th floor, which is our worship arts recording studio. So for our worship arts students who are very ambitious, we have a recording studio for them, and they're able to use them for free. They don't have to pay any money, anything like that. All they have to do is reserve a time. And the fact that we have the opportunity to have those students record in there, get their music out, produce music, sing the songs that they wrote. It's just such a cool opportunity. Like I said, we do have very ambitious worship art students here who do want to release music. So for them to have the ability to record, and another cool thing we have here is we actually have a Canyon Worship album. So the Canyon Worship album is released in September. So this year's was actually just released, and it's impeccable. It's released on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. It's released all over the place, and it's all songs that students wrote and they sang, and they are so talented. And another place where students can kind of like show their talent off is the Ethington Theater. So this is the Ethington Theater actually right over this balcony right here, and this is where we have our productions here on campus. We have 7 productions a year, and they are for free for students to attend. So something that is, again, just another way for students to continue their interests, because you don't have to be a part of these College of Fine Arts and Production programs to be a part of our productions. You can be an engineering major, you can be a business major, whatever you are, you have the ability to be a part of these productions. And they do 7 a year, and they are very, very well done. The students put lots of hours into them, and like I said, they are for free for students to attend, but lots of people like coming off campus and catching a show. So just one of the coolest things I think we have here, one of the coolest aspects of campus is that the community is so well-rounded and versatile that we have students of all interests and students that are able to pursue really anything they'd like, whether that is worship arts, they can be a part of our Canyon Worship album, whether that is esports, Ethington Theater, outdoor rec, intramurals. I mean, those are just a few examples. We have things of all sorts that students can be a part of. And that is actually all I have for you in the building of technology. I'm going to send it back to the studio. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we're actually going to go up here to the 4th floor. So we're going to walk up to the Worship Arts Recording Studio, which is something that is, again, one of the coolest places we have here on campus. I've been in there. They actually have a writing lounge. So the writing lounge is a place where students can go and grab a bite, and then they're actually able to just relax, write music, do that stuff. And I'm actually meeting Caleb up here, which is cool. And he's going to be able to take you through there, show you guys what the studios look like and everything like that. Oh, there he is. Oh, and then we have Noah again. What's up, guys? So I'm actually going to come in here with you guys over here. And then, like I said, this is the technology building. On the 2nd floor, we also have our cybersecurity, so that's a really cool program that we have here. But that is in our esports arena. We're going to walk right through this door right here. Thank you, fellas, for the door. Right here. So this is a good look at the recording studio. Right here is this writing lounge that I was talking about, where students are able to take a seat and write down in. And then also we do have some of our recording studios over here. So we see we have lots of students actually in the recording studio over here. This is where they have a lot of the production set up and everything like that. So this is where they can get a lot of work done, and they are able to produce the music. And then we actually have lots of recording rooms where students will be able to have instruments provided, and they'll have mics for them to sing and everything like that. So it's a really, really awesome place for students to hang out. And then, so now I actually believe that we are going to send it over to them. Am I taking the mic? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to offer the mic over here for these fine young gentlemen. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We found chairs. We're a little exhausted. We have We've booked it from the arena for you guys to be here. What a beautiful recording studio. What a beautiful fourth floor of our STEM building. So Noah, we're up here in our wonderful recording studio, and there's some live recordings going on. Behind there, it's just incredible. Yeah, let's get a shot on that. Isn't that amazing? Look at those hard at work workers, mask on in a closed environment. We love it. Noah, we have been blessed with such a great worship program here, and we see that every Monday, most every Monday, with our chapel. You are a life leader, and your student body vice president. You're so ingrained with the community here on campus. What does chapel for you feel like every Monday?
Chapel is one of the best experiences here on campus. It's a great way to come as a community here at GCU and just worship the Lord, to join together in song and pour out our hearts and souls for the praise of Him. And that's really a special thing that not a lot of college campuses get to do. And our student leaders that are on that worship team do a fantastic job.
They really do such a great job. It's literally like we're at some professional worship night, and it's just so incredible. I mean, we have just such incredible artists, and they're actually released a new Canyon worship album. It came out on Spotify, Apple Music. Go check it out. Noah, I want to ask you, when we think of the spiritual side of things, not everybody comes here for Jesus. Not everybody has to know Jesus when they come here. We urge them to at least be open to it, but we don't force any message on anybody. But what does GCU do between chapel, between our worship program, between just life groups? How does GCU foster an environment of Jesus, but also in a way that makes it where even if you don't know who Jesus is, open to anybody of all walks of life?
I think it just goes back to that idea of GCU has such a foundational, just belief in loving people the way Christ loved people. And I think GCU students embody that perfectly. And what that looks like is not loving someone so that they can also know Jesus and believe the things that you believe, but loving people because at the end of the day, that's what Jesus did. And Jesus didn't love people to try to, get them to believe one thing or do one thing, but he loved them because he loved them. And at the end of the day, that is I think one of the core values here at GCU. And I'm so blessed to be at a university like this.
All right, Noah, we got to close out on this before we send it out. Before we close, Noah, you're about to leave us. First of all, thank you so much for being on our GCU Live Campus Tour and this new format of having guests on and doing all this fun stuff. I want to end with this, and we're going to show you a really cool video. What is something, as our vice president of our student body, as just somebody who truly loves GCU, a message you would say to people already here, recent graduates, just people a part of this community, and just people who are looking and watching this that are like, I kind of want to be a part of that community. What's something you would say that just truly embodies what GCU is all about?
I think, we've kind of been talking about it a lot today, and it seems like it's the word that comes out of my mouth every time I talk, and that's Jesus. At the end of the day, come here because you're going to experience that love of Jesus. Maybe you're not a Christian, and maybe you're far from it, or maybe you're kind of, thinking, oh, that Jesus guy is really cool. But at the end of the day, come to Grand Canyon University because the culture and the community here is unlike anything that I've ever seen in this world.
We love that, and we love you, Noah. So, Noah, thanks so much for being on here. I'm sure we'll see you again on any other formats. That's Noah Logan, Student Body Vice President. Make sure to actually follow ASGCU on Instagram at literally ASGCU. Whether or not you're looking to come here, because it's a really good place to really see what they're all about, because they're for students, by students, and you guys want to be students, so it's best to know who's serving you guys. So before we go, I'm going to give a little plug here. So Noah, stay. We love you. So right over here, we have this Canyon Worship poster. This is actually really cool. Available now. They just released a new album, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, GCU. We love it. Canyon Worship. We actually have a really cool opportunity here to show you a music video by one of the songs here in Canyon Worship. So when I see you next time, I'm going to be probably a little bit sweatier and back in the studio because I'm going to run, but enjoy a music video. Here we go. Time to go.
I found myself in the middle, trying to earn my own place, instead of trusting you with every trace of my life. In the valley of unknown, you pull me in and remind me that it's not about what I can see, because you're working it out. He said, ooh, don't worry, child, it's gonna be alright.
Canyon Worship. Gotta love it. We're back. Canyon Worship, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. Just released it a couple weeks ago. It is fantastic. And I can't think of a better way to close out our tour than what our campus is all about, worshiping Jesus. Whether that be worshiping it through a song like we just saw, through the events we do, through the cool student leader activities we have on campus, through just walking around Lopes Way, saying hi to each other. We're all about spreading Jesus here. That's going to wrap up our tour. And guys, thanks so much for joining me, Caleb Duarte, here on this journey. It's incredible. Now, it's one thing to watch it, though, but I really urge you, if you all have just in your heart of like, this could be a place I could call home, truly talk to your admissions counselor about coming out to have an in-person tour or looking for more information on our website. Go to apply.gcu.edu if you're looking to apply at all. It's a free application just to get your foot in the door. It's such an incredible place to be, and no matter where you go, we just truly hope that you find your purpose. We hope it's here, but no matter where you go, truly find your purpose. And we cannot welcome you any more than we already have, and just we want you part of our herd. And no matter where you go, you're always a part of that, including Linda F., who bachelor's in Christian Studies, was watching our thing. She graduated in last April 2020. So fellow grad, Lopes up, way to go, congratulations. It just truly shows just how incredible this campus is. No matter when you leave, no matter what year you graduate, you always come back to it. And can't think of a better place to be than this. We are going to end on one question because it's really important here. Is there a grocery store or church on campus? Church, we do not have a church on campus, but there are so many extraordinary churches nearby in our community, whether that be New City, whether that be Hillsong, so many churches across our nation that we're actually so blessed with their pastors coming to speak. For example, we have the New City pastor, Brian Kruckenberg, coming on Monday, so feel free to watch that on Monday to get a feel of the different churches we have in the Phoenix area. But we do have a grocery store. Actually, it's brand new, Antelope, in the Antelope Apartments. The Herd Stop, we also have several places called The Grid across campus, and our Lope Smarts, which are a little grocery store feel. And the Herd Stop, like I said, it's basically a mini grocery store. It's incredible. So, like I said, this place is the place to be. We love you guys. We hope to see you guys here. But no matter where you go, love Jesus and find your purpose. And maybe I'll see you next fall. Go Lopes. We love you. Have a good day.